Everybody.
Not this week.
I drank the
And make sure you put your cards in the bowl. Jim Mullins is going to come around and make sure all of yours are stacked in the bowl.
Take your card.
What happens to you? Come out there.
Where's yours?
We'll put our name on our card.
No, we should I remember Saturday
We're going to put the cards in. That closes
On the first thing we're doing. All right, good morning. I feel powerful from up here today. How is everybody? Can I just say thank y'all so much? It was such a great honor for Robert and I to be able to walk up on stage for the number 18 company out of 18 office out of 6,900 offices. So give me You have no idea how good that felt when they've got thousands of people in the audience and they call it very few offices, and we were able to walk up there and it was awesome, and I just thought it was great. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do. We have Ashton Woods here today. We've got some things to cover with you guys of things that we learned at the conference that you have in your at your disposal right now to help you with your business. And we also have something very, very good today. So I'm going to skip forward to that. We have a birthday, Miss Monica's birthday. Actually, the cake says Lloyd, I believe. It's and Lloyd is our graphics guy that she works with online, and so she's inherited the name Lloyd from Robert. So that's why it says Lloyd. And actually, I put on there "Happy Birthday, Lloyd." So we are ready. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
So let's sing it loud and proud when she comes in the room.
Everybody put the card in.
You're controlling the crowd. Squeeze on
I know,
it
that doesn't seem right. Let's go.
out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, I just wondered, probably.com in there.
Okay, let's go. We got a meeting to get to. Blow the damn candles out. Now, Robert got this cake made. It's awesome. I don't know if y'all saw it, but this is a picture of her. All of her beautiful garb. And Robert, why don't you tell them what the ring ding 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 is? Yeah, you know, they got a little ring ding 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 ding. No, it's got a screw in the light bulb ding ding ding. Yeah, you think we're gonna let her get all that? We need Tracy now. Happy birthday, Lloyd.
You know what, I thought you're officially a member of the policy.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry. All right, so today's message is that flower. I want you guys to be that little flower to stand out in the field of whatever. I don't know what those blue flowers are. They're nice, but the one that stands out is that nice, tall, orange-looking, beautiful thing, and that's what I want you guys to be. And it's not going to be that difficult. And with some of the things that we learned at Century 21 Global Conference, I'm going to share some things with you that I hope that you will take advantage of. Pick up the phone, start calling. We've also got a couple of congratulations that we're going to go over. But first, before we do anything, we have Jennifer with Ashtonwood. Come here and tell us about the Grove in Spring Valley, which is right down the street. And she didn't know it, but now she does when you come in here to talk. You not only got to deliver good breakfast, which she did. What else you got to do, Jennifer?
We're going to do a gift card.
We're going to do a gift card. So when she's done, you got to give her a riveting round of applause. If you don't, your name will be extracted from the bowl. We'll draw a $400 gift card. So it'll teach you a lesson and you'll remember next time. Okay, go ahead.
I just thank you guys for letting me come in and host breakfast this morning, and I don't know really how to follow the rest of the birthday thing, but the Grove at Spring Valley is right across the street from South Side. We're 69 home sites in there total. We have some amazing inventory right now with really good incentives and markdowns on them. So if you have people that need something quick, I have basements and slabs, and I have plenty of opportunity to build. This month, our incentive is 75% off up to 40,000 in options, which is huge. Yeah. So if you have somebody that wants a new home, but you know their budget, they need to be able to stretch to do some of the things they want in it. Right now is an awesome time for them to come in and build. And then if you guys need anything, my cell phone and email is on the cards in front. This afternoon, we're going to have all of the inventory homes that are on the list open. So if you guys want to stop by, they'll all have to do in front of them. So if you want a preview for your buyers, you know, we welcome you to come out and take a peek. And I will now draw.
Y'all got any questions? Because I got to tell you, her boss, Dwayne Hill, is a real, he's a hard driver. And if he doesn't get some sales going in there, his expectations, well, it won't be a good day for you. So, let's go around.
So far already this month, so May 22nd.
What is the incentive again?
75% off, up to 40,000 in options.
So, for pre-sales, up to 40,000 in options, you get 75% off. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, and the inventory that we have on the sheets right there, I mean, they've taken 35,000 off for quick movements, so we have some amazing stuff going on in there right now.
Awesome.
All right, anybody have any questions?
Hold on, wait. I didn't hear a round of applause. Is that all? Was that good enough?
That was good.
Okay.
We'll
Now,
really take that.
And I think everybody participated, so who is the
Yes.
winner?
Lisa
Jim Bullitt, no.
Cushman.
All right, thank you very much, Jennifer, have a super day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we got a birthday now. All right, so, Jeff, get on up here.
All right, showtime.
What are rates doing today?
Rates are doing today probably better than they did yesterday. Does anyone know why rates might be better today than they were yesterday?
Because of the terrorist stuff going on.
That's right.
Everybody hear about that? Isn't that great to wake up to?
Yeah, sad stuff.
So what happens when something big happens around the world that's a big negative thing?
Panic.
It's panic, and it happens with the economy, and so the economy drives the stock market goes into bad mode, which means that the
Bond market.
bond market reacts accordingly, and the interest rates will follow the bond market.
So like you said, people will pull out of the stock market because they're scared. They'll put their money in the bond market, which improves rates. You don't want people to sell bonds, you want them to buy bonds if you want lower rates. So that's typically what happens. So unfortunately, it's at the expense of crappy things around the world. So, you know, that's the reality we live in now. And I've said it before. People ask me what's going to cause rates to go up or down. It's these big world events, things that happen to our stock market and bond market accordingly. So that's it. Rates, I think you had a rate sheet showing me earlier.
No?
Well, I saw one earlier. 30-year fixed rates right now, depending on credit scores without any points, around 3.75. Who knows, maybe today that'll be lower. FHA rates around 3.375 to 3.25, depending on if you're paying points or not. 15-year rates, 3%. ARMs are sticking in the low 3s to 2.875, depending on 5, 7, or 10-year ARM that you do. So that's about it. Everybody that emailed me for the mortgage app, thank you. I believe I've sent it to everybody. Also the rate plug, anyone that wanted the, I do those flyers for your listings when you get them. They turn out beautiful. I sent them to a few of you already that requested them, so you can use them for open houses or whatever you want. It shows 3 different scenarios: FHA loan, 30-year fixed, conventional 30-year, and I can stick an ARM in there. Whatever you want, I can customize them for you. So anyone else that wants them, shoot me an email, text me, whatever. Oh, good news, we did get a new product. I think we're one of the only lenders around that has this now. It's a 5% down jumbo loan.
Wow.
Incredible. Most lenders will do 10 or 15% jumbo. We now have a 5% jumbo. And of course, they're going to have to fit in a box about this big.
Credit score has to be 1,200.
That's right. 1,200 credit score. You got to have, 10 open trade line. No, it's not that bad, but definitely a good thing. So if you have somebody that doesn't have a lot of money to put down, but they want to go jumbo, we have it now. So that's all I got.
Well, that was good. Very inspiring. Okay, Robert, what are you passing around?
Contact information on our new partner closing attorney and office locations where they can go.
So, we are going into the title insurance business. It'll be called Pinnacle Partners, or actually Pinnacle Title. That'll be opening up in April. And the company is McMichael and Gray. And if you have any questions about anything, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and ask away. To be very short and specific, when we knew that we were going to go into title insurance business, we invited Mr. Salisbury to be a part of the solution, and he did not feel that this was the time for his company to be merged in with the title insurance range that we wanted to go with. So it is not anything that is, it was not taken lightly, because Kevin and I go back to 8th grade. And so we handled it with very extreme care. And both Kevin and I had decisions to make professionally, but we handled it from a very personal level so that at the end of the day, we can still remain with a good relationship intact. So this is the company. They will be coming over here and networking and meeting with you guys. You are free to always use whoever you want to, but I assure you, with what we're going to be doing for you to make you look like the standout in the experience we're going to create here, you're going to want to close with this group, and we'll make sure that they stand behind a very good product. The other thing is, for the Gwinnett agents, you will be able to go in and use their office, and they'll have a bullpen set up in there so that you can meet people there and also go over there to utilize that space. It will also probably be opened up in the future at their other locations around the Atlanta market, which currently they have 7, and they will also be looking to open up in the East Cobb area. So we're very pleased with what they've been able to provide, and we're going to have a good time with them. So one of the things that we're thinking about doing is some champagne closing. So once all the paperwork is ready, sitting here in the, we want to close all the loans right here in the office. So believe me, we don't want you to close at their offices unless you have to. If it makes a good geographic change for you, great. But we want to close here. We want to have control. We want the experience to be such a great experience that your clients come in here and they go, oh my God, it was such a different experience. When the contract's ready or when the closing paperwork's ready to be signed, word's going to go out and we're going to have champagne delivered. And if they don't want to drink champagne, they can have apple cider. But we're going to make it an event. And we want it to be something that you guys feel like it is a celebration at the end. We will have very nice chocolates and all that good stuff.
Show them what they'll see
Squeeze it on in.
when the buyer walks in the door.
We ordered this weekend, we ordered some very nice screens that will show the home, the picture of the home and the people's names. So it's going to be all digitally done. So when you walk in the door over by the conference room, it'll show that we've got a reservation for the conference room at the time, have their names and have a picture of the front of the home on there.
So then we'll give them that little color. It's really just a lucite color thing. Rose will put it in a little mat and they'll walk out of here with a 11 by 17 color photo of their home.
I believe this, that closing is an example of the experience you provide that should be the celebration of all the crap you had to get through to get to the point of closing on the home. So they shouldn't walk out in just a little array going, okay, we closed on home. They should walk out feeling like, damn, that was awesome. And that's what we want to create at the end and get people talking about that. And yes, I want other agents from other companies to come in here and go, damn, you guys got it going on. And that's what we're going to deliver for you guys. So it's up to you. It's up to you who you close with, but I assure you, we're going to make an experience worth moving over to. Okay? And yes, if you have legal questions or issues with contracts, they will absolutely do the same as Mr. Salisbury's done, and they will open up to help out. As long as you're using their services, they will provide all the service that was being provided before. That was very important to us that we came forward with the exact same type level of service with that on the back end side. So
how do we give Kevin the appropriate send-off?
well, since he is a friend of mine, it's not just pulling the carpet out and saying goodbye. We want to have a luncheon next week. I'm going to call him later today and say, hey, we'd like to have you come to the meeting next week and do a proper send-off for you, have a luncheon and have everybody come here that's used Kevin through the years or has a good relationship with him. And let's really do it right, because it's not just out there going, you're done. It's about doing it the right way. Okay?
And who knows, there might be a cake with a photo of Mr. Swanson and Mr. Salisbury going to their prom. All I will tell you is one of them certainly looked a lot like Flavor Fave. So we'll see that next week.
Yes, I was the idiot with the white top hat, the white tails, the white the blue cummerbund and the cane. But I had fun, so it's all good. Okay, so let's get on to some good things. This week for your production, we've got proactive mornings, call your sphere of influence, expired FISBOs. Your job is to communicate with people, plain and simple. And if you're not making what you need to or want to make this year, then get proactive with Rob and Debbie Wednesday and Thursday morning this week. What time can they come in here?
Oh, they can come in at any time, but 9 to 9:30 is prospecting, 9:30 to 10:30, make some calls.
No, it's not 9:30 is script practice, role play.
Well, prospecting, script practice, will play first, and then prospecting for an hour after that.
Is that hard to do? It must be.
No.
I got either it's very hard to do or everybody's making so much money this quarter, they don't need to do anything. Is that, which side are, who in here thinks it's so hard to do, they just can't do it? Nobody, okay, who in here is making so much money, they know they don't need to do it? Jim Bolden, all right. Well, he's won everything, so that's, he doesn't have to work, he wins all the drawing. He is a professional drawing entry person. So, here's my advice, what do you think my advice to you guys is?
Show up.
Show up, pick one day a week that you're gonna show up, it's that simple. You don't have to do every single day. As a matter of fact, if you haven't been doing it at all, you won't do every single day. But it's consistency over time that's gonna make the difference for you guys. You can't come in here and do it one day and have a miserable experience and go, see, it doesn't work. It works if you do it and you stick to the plan. You do it over time, you get more comfortable and confident in what you say. It's amazing what can happen. But if you don't do anything, guess what happens? The damn thing. It's as simple as that. Hey, consistency of doing nothing over time gets you nothing. Bless you.
Thank you.
What would you like to, go ahead, Robert.
Then I'll leave. Yaju?
Yeah.
I believe we need for you to stand up.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh, yeah. What did I do?
You know what? Young lady, I need for you to tell these people what happened last week when you went on a listing appointment, who you were up against. Gosh, how long did it take you to sell the home?
Yeah,
That's something to be proud of.
yeah, I went to this listing presentation and he had finalized two agents. That was his shortlist and I was one of them. And on the call also, he was like, he was going with the other agent and then I had to give my best to get back and, win it. Later on, I get a mail from Steve Uvagi saying that, yeah, Drew, how did you get, you got to be right.
Steve Uvagi.
Steve Uvagi, I was up against him
And how much did you discount?
I didn't actually.
Oh, wait a minute, say that again.
Say it louder.
It was more like if I could, it was more like a negotiable thing. If I get him a full price, I get full commission. If I get him any discount, then I get
Oh, and what price did you sell the home for?
full price.
In how many days?
And I'm gonna give her a 5% bonus because you beat Steve Uvagi. Anytime you go head to head with somebody that left this company and you beat their butt like that, we're gonna celebrate it and give you a little step. That's for anybody in here. I'm competitive and I like kicking people's butts that sit by. So, great job. Let's say yes, Yahoo for Yaju! All right, now I'm done. Thank God. I do have a question. What's a shot list? I'm just kidding. Hey, let's welcome Alex Henniger in the back. Alex, you got anything to greet us with today? We can't wait to hear words of
You were just
wisdom.
gonna call me out on the wet spot on my shirt.
Oh,
Got a drinking problem. I spilled my coffee this morning.
Well, it looks great.
That's about it.
You look fantastic. I don't think anybody would have noticed that. Big wet spot on your shirt.
Alex, he enjoys what he eats.
Okay. So, can you guys commit to 1.5 hours a week? Who in here cannot just say, I am not going to do it? Raise your hand. It's okay. So, it's almost like we need to entertain the reverse AA type meetings. It's like, it's okay. Come in here. Okay, so this is going to be proactive mornings. I'm trying to think of things that will resonate with your psychological process a little bit. Okay, you know what? It's about being proactive. It's about controlling your business. And we've got some good things that you'll be able to call your sphere of influence. People typically get hung up. I'm going to use this little pointer on that right there. I don't want to call expires. Expires is such a negative thing in my world. But that's not saying, hey, you got to come in and just call expires. We've got sphere of influence. Those are easy ones, right? And we've got FSBOs. Those are pretty easy, but it's a process. By the way, FSBOs, if your home is listed for sale by owner, are you ready to list today?
Yes.
No, you're not. Let's be real, people.
Try
If your home is for sale by owner, 90% of the people that are for sale by owner are not ready to list with an agent that day. And it's a process that you got to do. If you go in there to try to list their home the first time you meet them, you're probably not going to be the one dealing with them. Okay? So it's a process. You go in there and earn the respect to be their agent. So my response is this. If you're going after for sale by owners, you go be their agent until you are their agent. Okay, and there's a lot of things you can do to educate people, give them forms, give them a whole bunch of advice, and then they might just turn around and say, you know what, you've helped me more than anybody else. I would like to use you now that I'm ready to list. That's how the process happens with that. But you got to make the calls. And I don't care if it doesn't match any of these. You can start calling out of the white pages. I don't care. But you got to start calling somebody. Now keep in mind, that is only if you are not making what you feel that you need to make, do you need to do this. If you're making every dime that you think you need to make, then you don't have to come in here. I'm happy for you. But if you're not happy with where you are, then you don't have a choice. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. By the way, Debbie, do you have anybody brand new in here that you'd like to introduce?
I do. Kieran Chawla just joined us today, just got her license yesterday.
Welcome, Karen, and hopefully you come back tomorrow. Jennifer Hodge, what you got back there? Who's sitting next to you?
Well, we just discussed it. She's getting her license tomorrow. This is Lisa Wynn. I sold her a home in Chicago. And I talked her to not want to work for the hospitals, being the director. I said, no, come be an agent with me. So I have her for now, and I'm thankful for it.
Welcome today and welcome tomorrow. Too, Jennifer Hodge's daughter, who used to be an agent with us, went to D.R. Horton, and she's the top 3 salespersons in Atlanta, and is going to D.R. Horton's home out in Texas. It's cool stuff. Good job, Miss Ashley. Okay, talk to Terry this Friday morning, 9 to 10, and Slaughter Day, 9:30 to 12 on Saturday. Right? So here's your opportunity to come in here. Commit to one of these. Actually, commit to the talk to Terry and then one of the other days. Actually, you got 3 other opportunities this week outside of that. We got congratulations. Jennifer Hodge won a huge honor from National Association of Realtors for her community outreach program, Realty for Rehab, which she's been doing a phenomenal job of being out there very passionately about helping clean our streets up and helping people that have addiction problems. And I don't know if y'all seen different things going on in the news, but 2020 had a big program about heroin. Did you know that heroin has manifested in North Atlanta, in Johns Creek, South Forsyth, Roswell, Alpharetta, all that pocket right there is the highest percentage of deaths related to heroin of teenagers. Not adults. Heroin is very alive in North Atlanta, way more than you would ever think. Jennifer's been passionate about that and was honored at the National Association of Realtors, but then also this weekend, she went on down to Orlando, and Rick Davidson, the president of Century 21, had her up on stage. It was an awesome experience. And Jennifer, did you, in the short 24 hours that you were there, were your eyes open on a lot of different levels with what all goes on with that?
With what part?
Just the overall atmosphere and what was going on there at the event.
Yeah, that was an amazing convention. I would really advise everyone to go to it, even if it's just popping in and picking up all the stuff. And that class, we did go to the class. We just flew in real quick and out.
That's right.
Back up.
But it was a good experience, and you said, I'm definitely coming back next year. And let's give Jennifer a huge round of applause for being up there on stage. You did it proud, you look great, and I appreciate you flying in and out like you did, because that was awesome stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good job. And this is a very, very cool thing. And next week, we're also going to make sure that we celebrate Mr. Gary Cook. He is where is he today?
He's going to get his passport today.
Going to get his passport. He is officially a U.S. citizen. So, awesome stuff. And I did not know that. And then we were at the convention and found that out and was like, wow, that is really, really good. That just kind of tingles me. And it's like, now, Debbie, when do you get yours?
Maybe before the election. We'll see if they can get it. But probably by October, November.
So they are Canadians, and now they are going to become Americans. So I say that's awesome stuff. So very good. So we will celebrate Gary's become an American citizen next Tuesday as well. Okay. So what is now included and new that you can incorporate into your business plans, and I hope that you do. I've got some samples here. We've got different things. Mr. Lewis, why don't you hold up that little emoji, or homage. So I don't know what the heck you pronounce these things, but you got women, you got men, you've got for sale signs, you've got a whole bunch of stuff. I'm two women. But what the get it going. So here's what these are. You can go to the app stores. On the back of these, it shows you if you got an iPhone, what you go through to get these. What this is for, it's a strategy. The new CMO for Century 21 has a great experience in corporate marketing background. She was with American Express and ran a whole bunch of different things. I believe this is one of her little brainchilds of bringing the corporate type marketing efforts and going, hey, if we can get the agents to start leveraging this stuff, how much more mind space and mind share do we get from the consumers out there? So if you go to Facebook and stuff, you'll be able to use these emojis. If you're texting people, you'll be able to use them. But go online to the app stores, whether it's Google or whether it's what is that called? Not Google. Play Store. Yeah, Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and you can download the Century 21 Homegis, HOMEJIS. And you can download it there. I downloaded it on my phone, but it's just about having a little bit of fun and creating those images of people's mind. 2, Toolkit CMA. Who in here has been using Toolkit CMA? Does anybody know what Toolkit CMA is?
I used to use it. I haven't used it in a long time.
Okay, it is something to help you with CMAs, right? When we were talking about it with Susan, the daughter of Melita Potts yesterday, she said, oh, my mom is going to be very excited. Why? Because this is no charge, and Melita has been paying for it on a monthly service and utilizing it in her business. So we asked Susan, we said, could you send us some samples of what Melita does with these? And we made 6 copies so we could pass these around. There is a short version and a long version of what she sends to the clients, but it is as easy as pushing. You can take one of those and don't pass those down, you can send it back that way. And then look at that and then push it past that one down that way.
Very good.
Okay, you're doing right. You're doing right. Now, then I want you to look at this and pass it down. After you pass the big stack back that way.
Oh, you get to look at it.
Okay, there you go. You're trained. So, what I want you guys to do is look this over because it's pretty darn slick. It's good, and it has some auto-populated stuff in there that will help blazon the things around the international connectivity that you'll be able to bring to the people in marketing their properties. But it's just a difference maker. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you guys this: how many of y'all, we've been talking about this? How many of y'all are using the trademark home inspection thing for the shingles and the major appliances? Who is talking about that at every one of their listing presentations? Very few. I'm going to tell you guys this. I went on a listing presentation yesterday with Heather Byer, and they had talked with an agent that has been in the business a long, long time. And I went in there and I said, do you know when your shingles were put up? They said, it's about 4 or 5 years ago. And I said, do you know if it's Atlas Chalet shingles or not? They said, no, we don't. I said, look, let me tell you something. This is one of the biggest deal killers out there. I pulled out the sheet and I said, for $200, we can have your home inspected to see if it's Atlas Chalet shingles. And if it is, we can see if we can get it fixed for you if there's any damage with it. But it's something very important for you to know. This is a $500,000 plus listing. The other agent did not identify any of the things that we talked about with the possible issues with the sale, or what could be an issue with the sale of the home. Got in touch with Cal over at Trademark. Said, here, these people are willing to do it. They said, $200. Okay, that's a great deal. So I called Cal. Cal was calling them this morning. They're going to use Cal. They're going to spend $200. Who do you think that has, who do you think right now, if everything else was equal on the playing field, who has the upper hand of getting that listing now? So all we did differently was talk about the different options that you guys have, but I want to make sure that you guys start leveraging this stuff to engage in conversations. Here's the flyer that they came up with, and we've obviously got extra stacks that you can take one up here and read it over, but this puts power in your hands, cleans things up so that you're not sitting there after getting the inspection done and all of a sudden you find out you got Atlas Chalet shingles. But the whole thing is putting control with you, having them use a vendor that is utilized for you, and all of a sudden you're going to be standing out because it's a very reputable company, they do a good job. Makes sense. Record, make sure that you. But I'm just amazed that not everybody's going, I'm using it, I'm talking about it, because if you live in a neighborhood that has homes that are 2010 or older, send it to your friends. Here's a great communication tool that you go, send a note to your friend and go, hey, you know what, there are Atlas Chalet shingles in this neighborhood. You might just want to find out if you got it, because there's issues with it, and you need to educate yourself and know what you do or don't have. Doesn't even have to be about listed. So it's about getting that mind share going. Century 21 commercials. Who was watching March Madness this last weekend and saw some of the commercials? Did you see any of the commercials?
Oh, one of them.
What'd you think?
Great.
So here's what I'm going to talk to you about a little bit today. How can you leverage the commercials that Century 21 is doing to get the mind share of your friends and their friends? And in March Madness, they're going to run commercials up to the Final Four. So Final Four games will each have a commercial from Century 21 in them. So right now you've got about a week and a half of opportunity that nobody else is going to have. That's not with Century 21. So what are you going to do with that? If you don't do anything with it, you're just wasting opportunity away, and I don't like that. So I'm going to show you how to leverage it, make it very easy for you. Century 21 commercials, they're also doing the Country Music Awards. That's the American Country Music Awards. Some countries, they're going to be on those commercials. And also the Billboard Music Awards, they're going to have the Century 21 commercials that you'll see during the March Madness. They're also going to have those. So you're going to have 3 leverage points to reach out to your friends and past sphere of influence, your sphere of influence and past business people that nobody else has. So I'm going to tell you, you either need to write letters or you need to make some phone calls or you need to do both. I don't care, but this is a phenomenal opportunity. So let's get the mind share. So here's what you can do. This is what I recommend. You guys tell me if you couldn't do this. This is simple. Hey, John, this is Terry Swanson. Do you have a moment? John would say yes. Well, I'm calling my past clients, friends, or family, whatever, to let them know of the excitement with the early spring market in real estate. As a matter of fact, Century 21 is so positive about the boost in sales they are having commercials in the March Madness. I know you may not be in the market, but chances are you know someone that is. And I hope you will see the commercials, think of me, and pass along my information, or pass my information along. Can I count on you for doing that during March Madness? Who in here would say no if you're my friend or past client or something like that did a good job for them? Anybody got an issue with that? Does anybody feel like they couldn't call people and at least say some according with that to start reaching out and get it? Here's the thing. Some people go, I don't want to just call my friends and have it be about business. That's why I put this in here. Awesome. Hey, now that I got that out of the way. How's your wife? How's your kids? How's whatever. Then you get a personal relationship that many of you are going, I don't want to just be salesy to my friends. Bring it back into the relationship aspect. It doesn't have to be just about business. Okay? You're great at relationships. You need to be great at starting to get your business going out there in a non-offensive way. This is how you can leverage the March Madness commercials and other things. By the way, if you don't want to make the calls, write this in the letter. If you're just not that confident about making calls and go, I don't really feel that comfortable about doing that, write a letter. But if you don't tell them, you know what will happen if you go, hey, look for my commercials. You know what they're going to do when they see the commercials? They aren't going to go, oh, I'm thinking Century 21 Corporate. They're going to be going, I'm thinking about Diane's service. Diane, I saw your commercials. They're not going to go, hey, I saw your corporate commercial. They're going to say, I saw your commercials. Yeah. This is what happens. But if you don't do anything with it, do you think that assimilation is going to go on there? This is how you win the mind share of the consumer out there during the hottest time of year when everybody's fighting to get in their mind. So leverage it. If you need help with it, I'll sit down and write a letter. I don't care. But what I do care is if all y'all come in here and you don't do anything with it. That's irritating. Okay? So who in here feels like they cannot do this? Great. That means does anybody, let me see if you got, who in here says, I think I'm going to go ahead and try it. Okay. I look forward to a lot of business happening over the next month. Good job. Okay. Reviews. Who in here is getting reviews? Who in here has 15 reviews on Zillow? Raise your hand. On Zillow. Laura Coons, what'd you do to get 15 reviews on Zillow?
I asked for them.
Asked for them. How did you ask for them?
hey, I hope you guys have had a great experience. You've told me that you have. You're gonna be getting a request for a review, either to the Real Satisfied one, or would you mind going to Zillow and posting a review? You can also send a link that they can complete and invite them to do so.
Okay. So I did a class with Rhett Harmon this last week at the conference, and Rhett has done a great job. He's got 35 reviews right now. He has been sending out a text with the link to Zillow, and he's also incorporating Real Satisfied in there as well. I've asked him to send me his text. It is a long text, but it is duplicatable, so all you gotta do is type it up once and then interchange the names out. But you need to be sending all of your past clients a review and say, hey, beg them for it. Hey, might help me with my business by next Tuesday. What he found is once you put a time limit on there for them to do it, he got about 60 to 70% of the people that he sent the text to respond. That's pretty darn good. And I want you guys to think about this. Consumers, do you think they're going to Zillow? Yes. Everybody's going to Zillow. You need to control your biography on Zillow, and you need to own getting the reviews. So some of you might go, well, I don't have any closings. How do I get reviews if I don't have enough business to get the 15 closings? Well, I'm going to tell you this. If you don't have enough sold clients, people that you showed homes to and did not buy, but they thought that you did a great job as a realtor, people that you went on a listing appointment, but they did not list. In other words, people that have done some sort of business activity with you. It can't be just a character review, but it can be, they came over to talk about listing my home and we could not list at that time, but oh my gosh, they did such a great job. We're ready to list with them when the time is right for us. They can send those reviews in. We went and looked at homes. We saw 5 homes. She did an awesome job, whatever. They can attach it, but it's got to be to an address. And then they can go out there and tell what their experience was with you. But it can't be, so-and-so is a great person. I know them from kindergarten and blah, 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 blah. It's got to be something related to real estate activity. Well, no, one of the people in the audience asked, can we have character reviews? Because there's misinformation going on out there. And the guy from Zillow was there. We had him come into the room, so he kind of dispelled the myths that have been going on out there. Yes, y'all do.
Can't Real Satisfied be connected to Zillow like
No.
it's connected to Realtor?
Nope. So you got to do 2.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So you just apologize, say, hey, you know what, this is really important to me. I appreciate if you could do both, but at least if you got one, great. But you need to get the 15 reviews in Zillow without question, period. That is where you become a, hey, they've got enough business going on. But just think right now, many of you might have 0, 1, or 2 reviews. Bless you. If you're a consumer going online and you're looking at all these realtors and everybody's getting all these reviews, you got 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 reviews, and then you're sitting out there with a goose egg or 1 or 2. As a consumer looking at you on the largest website on the planet for real estate, how would you rate yourself? Because a lot of times they won't even go to somebody that only has less than 5 reviews because you're a nothing right then. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I mean, it's true. Do you go to a hotel that has 400 reviews, or do you go to the one that has 5? You want to go to the one that has the most reviews so that you can go, hey, there's relevance in that, and I know that if they have that many, then I'm going to be able to see if they've got 4.5 stars and they've had 400 replies. That's more relevant than somebody's got 5 with only 5. That makes sense? So I want you guys to really own that. We're going to be pushing that forward and really doing whatever we can to help you guys out. Homeowners who bought during the housing boom are regaining equity many thought was lost forever. I can tell you these. Y'all remember back in 2007, 2008, what was the statement? We will never, ever, 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 ever see these prices again. Y'all remember that? No. 7 years ago, we've seen the highest pricing that we'll ever see in this area ever again. And where are we right here in North Atlanta? Some areas have exceeded where we were in 2006, 2007. Some are just catching up. But the bottom line is we're at that point. So there's a lot of people that still don't understand that they are way beyond where they need to be to get out of their home, sell it, and go move and have equity and move into their next home. So understand that there's a lot of opportunity out there right now for the spring market. And then the appraised value of the homes is getting less and less and less in the red. And what this means is appraisers that are having issues finding the values on the contracts that are written. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So the closer this gets to zero, the better off we are. You can see back here, went back down to 2.65. So the appraisers are getting more in line with what the contracts are being written for. And I will say, it does depend on the loan type. FHA and VA are going to be more challenging than others. Would you agree with that, Jeff? Would you agree with that? FHA and VA are still appraisal issues that you might want to be careful on?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just depends on the situation, the shape of the house, because VA and government loans, they do an inspection too, so they're gonna do a head and shoulders of the attic. They're looking at the siding, is the roof falling down, are there safety issues, are the railings all in place, the ledge of the steps, I mean, make sure there's no safety related issues.
And be careful of this. I was talking to an agent last week and they said, hey, I got this offering. What should I do with it? Because it's no contingencies, no appraisal contingency, no due diligence, so they're not going to ask for anything. I said, is it all cash? No, it's an FHA appraisal. It's an FHA loan. Who can tell me what the issue is with that?
Is it on septic?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it's
That would be more of
If
an
it's on
issue too.
septic, then they
So-
have to get a septic inspection, they have to have a termite inspection.
So Jeff, let's say,
Why don't you put it in the
Hold
contract?
on.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, no inspections, no contingencies, FHA 5% down. Goes to Jeff. We're going to close this loan. Do they need any other documentation?
From the appraiser, we're gonna get the appraisal, and if it comes back subject to completion, there you go, boom, loan doesn't close till you fix the items that the appraiser found.
Who?
Yeah, who's gonna pay for it?
Salary.
Does the government back loan FHA, do they let something like that flow through without any amendments signed? What do they have to have signed if there's no amendments that cover what the government's going to make sure is covered?
Need a repair amendment.
A repair amendment. What else is also in the FHA that's mandated by the government?
Yeah, safety issues, there's a spot on there at the bottom that says they'll repair up to.
What about appraisal contingency?
Goes to the end of the contract.
It's in that
Yes.
exhibit.
Unless-
The
unless you say
government
differently.
makes you sign a form that basically gives the protection to the buyers through closing.
Right, yeah, and they can't.
No ifs, ands, or buts. So, to me, I look at it and go, well, that's a misleading contract that was presented in. I don't know if it was maliciously done that way or not, but totally goes against the grain of what FHA is about. They do not let no appraisal contingency. They've got amendments that you have to have the party sign. The appraisers go out there, and even if you're not having an inspection, a normal inspection, the FHA appraisers are the inspectors.
Should have other agents.
Well, let's put it this way. I want to make sure that we do a good job of educating our side so that we know that, and then when you get another agent that is, I don't know if they're being malicious or if they're just ignorant to that, that we have control and we do a good job of communicating with our people, the ins and the outs of it. Because it looked great, sounded great, until those words FHA, or letters, FHA came out. And I was like,
Well, you're not protecting the buyer. If you're not putting in any contingency on days for inspection, at least you gotta give them some days for them to bail out if they wanna bail out of the contract, and you're putting in zero, you're not really protecting your buyer. You're letting your buyer exposed to just the 21 days if they fill out the FHA, contingency financing.
but the buyer could say, there's multiple offers going in on it, we'll take all this stuff away, and they could have been in control of that. But even so, it still didn't matter in this case because you still got FHA guidelines that are going to override
That's right.
a contract that wasn't written properly. Yes.
On my FHA contracts, I've been actually writing in a stipulation that has a date that they have to have the appraisal done by, because there is no date in that contract, in that exhibit.
You got
And it
21.
also is giving the seller the right to terminate the contract if the appraisal doesn't come in on time. Because there is a lot of stuff going on, multiple offers and everything, and they may actually be able to get a better deal if they were able to get out. I mean, that's if I'm representing the seller. But it's just one way to take control of your contract. And I'm not sure if there actually is a stip in forms, but it certainly is something that would be a good idea to have made up if it's not in there.
There's not, and FHA is gonna override any of them that you write anyway.
No, this is just a time frame. It's not amending their language in the FHA exhibit. It just says you have a certain amount of time to get your appraisal done, because a lot of times on FHA, they wait till the very end to do it, and it's holding your house off.
It at least puts more control
That's right.
in your court.
And I like control.
I know, that's a great point. So it's like, hey, they can have the appraisal contingency run through closing, but if you say, hey, you need to have it in 21 days, if they don't have it in 21 days, the buyer's in fault at that point in time. Your sellers now have control of saying, we're gonna terminate this unless you get it corrected in the next 2 days, or not. So it puts control in your court. It gives you options that you wouldn't otherwise have, having to wait for the closing date. And then at least if you have an appraisal or have an appraisal issue, you're gonna find out sooner than later.
And in the meantime, I'm looking for a backup offer. I mean, I'm just waiting for somebody to come in and bring me that backup offer, which I do have one on the table right now.
Well, if you
So
have,
it works
if you
really
have,
well.
you have 14 days in there for inspection, I usually have my appraisal done and inspection done in those 14 days.
Well, that is rare.
Because, no, it's not rare. If you can get the inspection, you can get the inspection right
but
away.
most
in
people
order.
are not doing
They're
it.
not spending the money for the appraisal till
Till they get the inspection.
Well, you can get the inspection immediately. I get my inspection the first 2 days.
But I'm working for the
If you're
seller.
that.
representing the buyer.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I just had one incident right now that I saw, a buyer was buying a house. We had the inspection done, and the inspection came out with a problem with the Alice Chalet. I told them, let's go right away because it was a good price. I would lock them in. Let's get the appraisal done. We got the appraisal. They came back and it says, well, we can't afford the thing. We want you to raise your price. I said, I'm sorry, here's your appraisal. Lock them in, sold the house. Tomorrow we're closing, and they replace the roof with the same price. You gotta learn sometimes how to go around it, but I always have my inspection done immediately.
That's if you're representing the buyer, you can control that, and definitely sooner the better to get hey, the more they put into it, the more likely they are to go through with it. Right? So get everything as quick as you can. All right, so spring fling. In April, we're gonna have a little margarita madness. You don't mind? Anybody mind? A little margarita, if you mind, hey, don't come, okay?
Is that
All right, so-
jalapeno?
It's as simple as that. We're gonna have some jalapeno strawberry margaritas. My favorite good drink, jalapeno strawberry margaritas. If you haven't tried them,
Oh, my God.
they're invigorating. A little pepper in your mouth with a little strawberry goodness. It's all wonderful. So margarita madness, why? Because it's spring and you deserve it. So this will be the second or third week of April. Who in here has spring break in April? I know Forsyth County Schools has it the first week.
Everybody.
Right. Okay, that's like the first week. Okay, so, the first full week of April is Forsyth's. What about the second week of April? Does any school system have spring break? Anybody know? Well, nobody in here does, so it'll either be the second or third week of April. Does anybody have a preference as to the second or third week of April?
What day are you talking about? Are you talking about on a Tuesday or?
It would either be a Thursday or Friday. I want to do it like in the evening, not evening, but like probably like 4 to 6 or something like that. And we're gonna have a guy in here playing music and stuff.
If we're gonna have margarita, right, it's probably better.
Friday.
Tax days on a Friday.
Friday would be better.
Tax days on a Friday.
Friday the 15th.
So, yeah, Friday the 15th, no, it's 13th, we whatever. So, then by the way, remember, in the summertime, late in the spring and early summer, we do what? Food Truck Friday, so we'll be bringing that back into action. So, we're gonna kick off spring in April, and then finally, next week for the luncheon for Kevin, let's shower with gifts and have a good time and treat him right. He's been good to us, we want to be good to him. So, does anybody have any questions about anything related to the title company that we're doing? Why, and any comments or anything anybody wants to put out there? Any questions?
When that goes into effect?
Randy's coming over here today, and we're kind of putting the fine details on that. My goal was to have it on April 1st actually be in full function. Not necessarily, operating, but say, hey, we're open for business April 1st. Why? Anybody want to tell me why? Well, no, not because it's April Fool's Day. Because that is the company's anniversary day. So I thought, hey, that would be cool to open up our title company on April 1st and just kind of make it simultaneous with that. So,
any closings we haven't can go until the end of the month here.
I used to be at Michael and Gray, they were great. They, every step of the way, they walked me through anything I needed. I just want to give them a good kudos.
hey, let's put it this way. I have been very, very impressed. They were referred to me from the president of Ashton Woods, Atlanta. And he said, if you're going to do the title insurance and you're looking for assistance on that, then I'll definitely check them out. And everything we looked through was like, man, it is a great organized company. And then the offices that they've got around Atlanta that are actually strategically placed in areas that benefit us. So it was good. Yes, Mike.
You mentioned using the Gwinnett office as you get clients over there. What's the chances of using some of the other offices like Alpharetta in the future?
Yeah, he said that would be open. And the cool thing is they work with a lot of builders, so they don't work with a lot of brokers, which offered us a good advantage point with them because other brokers, since we're the first one in, I was able to kind of leverage that to say, hey, why aren't we able to use your office? And he was like, hey, I'm very open to that. So it's a very great relationship, and they're very eager to please and go, hey, how can we help you guys grow your business and make it a better overall operation for your agents? So I know the Gwinnett agents are very excited. Can I hear it? Yay!
Yay! What's the attorney's name? Because it's not on here.
Randy is the partner, so it's Randy McMichael. We'll be getting all the information out. We didn't want to go ahead and put it out and let you guys know that has their office locations. We'll be getting you more information, but we did just want to lay it out there and let you know what's going on. Check out, if you go to 21 Online, I want you to go check out the Toolkit CMA. We've given you the copies of this stuff, but this is going to be very good for you to be pushing out there. By the way, when those passed around, did y'all like what you saw in the CMA Toolkit? It's supposed to be very, very consumer friendly to you and should make your world a lot easier for having good reports that will make you look more professional than the next agent. Any luncheons today? No luncheons, so y'all are off the hook on that. Isn't that great? Anybody got anything that they want to share, say, whatever? Feeling good, feeling bad, feeling like you never had. So we done? Everybody feeling good? Lamont, you got anything you want to say?
Pretty good right now. I appreciate it.
Good. 5 contracts by June.
Working on it.
All right.
Working on it.
Lewis, you got anything you want to say? When's the bus tour?
We're still waiting for the date.
Sometime in?
24th, this coming month, 24th, I think it is.
About a month, the New Homes bus tour for the 400 North Fork. It'll be fun, and highly encourage you guys to go. Anything else? All right, let's finish it up. Y'all have a fantastic day. Remember, we've only got 3 days left of proactive morning, so take one and come in here and be a part of it.
Okay. No.